Hey legacy builders, welcome back to Mind Your Money. In today's video, I'm doing a closeout of my October budget. I'm going to start with closing out the last budget by paycheck for the month, and then I'm going to move on to closing out the entire budget by itself. And we are filming this video today is actually early. It is the 26th of October, and I have some life updates right now because life is lifing. So I have an appointment on Friday at 10 a.m. so that I can do my glucose test. If you've been pregnant before, or if you have a friend who's been pregnant, you know this is the time where they're testing to see if there's gestational diabetes, that whole thing. So that appointment in itself is going to be long because they have to take blood before, and then you have to drink and wait an hour, and then they take blood again. It's a whole thing. So I have to close out my budget and my for the week and for the month early. Then also my baby boy fell, being a horse player, being a rambunctious little boy, fell and chipped his baby tooth, and it's kind of bad. So we had to get an emergency appointment. But the first appointment was just an x-ray, and they reviewed his x-ray, and the two teeth are chipped. So we had to get an emergency pediatric dentist because he may have to have the tooth removed, or they'll do a fill-in, something. We have to take him. But the appointment we got is for tomorrow, my time, Friday. And it's at 9 o'clock. But my appointment is at 10:30, and I can't miss it. So now my husband and I had to switch some things around so he can take the baby to the pediatric dentist. And I still have to go to my appointment because I'm already a week behind in doing the test. So long story short, that's why we're closing out things early, but November is right around the corner. So let's get into it. So the income that we're going to be using this week to close out this budget is $775, I think. Let me make sure, because I did a little pre-plan and I feel like I'm rushing this, but I'm not. We have three sources. We have the $700 from my husband's income. And then we have $25 from my Ibotta. And then I believe we also have $50 in miscellaneous income. So that is $775 that we're going to be working with. The first thing is the actual income is $775. I've already made some money moves ahead of schedule because the month is ending soon, and I'm trying to get as much saved and prepped as I can for the new month. So the tithe is going to be $78 this week, because I don't use change, because 10% of $775 is $77.50, and I don't need to do change, so I'm going to do $78, and we're going to give that happily. Savings is 5% of the income that we're using, and I broke it down by putting $10 into the emergency fund like we planned. Household is going to get $1 more than planned, so we'll give it $6. And then I'm going to save some money in my boys' high yield savings accounts. I can't wait to get one set up for the baby girl so we can start saving for her even earlier. So we didn't plan for it, but we're just going to send $1 to each of their high yield savings accounts. So 10 plus 6 is 16, 17, 18, 19. So that's $19 going towards our long-term savings. And then for my IRA, I already transferred $39 over there and invested into O. If you haven't been watching my shorts, I'm sharing every single week how much money is going into my 100 shares challenge. We got another share of realty income with this $39. So plus dividends that were paid out that was sitting in the cash portion. So I'm happy about that. So then we're going to move on to our purpose funds. These are short-term savings. Transportation is going to get $15 this week. And renter's insurance is going to get $10, and that's going to be $25. So that's $5 more than what we planned because of a little bit of extra income. And then we're going to move on to cash expenses. I did pull out $100. So this is staying the way we planned it to be. $25 to laundry, $50 to challenges, $20 to my wallet, and Actually, $10 is going to abundance. So I'm not putting anything into blessings this week. And I'm going to put $10 into abundance. That is more than what I thought. 25 plus 50 plus 20 plus 10. That's $105. How did I do that? Oh, my wallet is supposed to get 15 and not 20. That's why. So I was looking at my pre-plan and I did this wrong. We're going to put $15 into my wallet, and that's going to give us $100. That's how we'll break down the $100. Thank God for correction tape. Okay, miscellaneous is $5. We planned for 50. I actually think miscellaneous is going to get $53 this week. So we're going to send $53 to miscellaneous, and that is how much our other bucket is totaling. And then we're going to go down to bills and expenses. So we still need to put $375 aside for rent, and we are behind on saving for rent because in the second paycheck we were only able to put $150 aside, even though we needed to put $375. So we're $255 short still. So I may have to take that money from our pay myself account, which has just about $600 in it. So we'll just have to move money around to make sure that we can cover November's rent when it's time. And then for next month's bills, we're actually going to put $50 there instead of $35. And then I'm going to pay our Allstate life insurance number 2. And that one is $36. I'm going to transfer the whole 36 over. It's actually $35.88, but I just want to deal with whole numbers this time. $375 plus 50 plus 36 equals $461. Oh, I hope all of my numbers are making sense. I really do, because I don't know. I messed up a couple of times already. So let's see where we are and start with the giving bucket. That was 78, plus long-term savings is 19, plus investing is 39, short-term savings is 25, cash was 100, other is 53, and bills and expenses 461. Boom! That's a zero-based budget. That's a zero-based budget. That's a zero-based budget. I'm so excited. Okay. Ooh, God is good. Even though things are a little bit stressful right now in life, God is always good. He's always making a way. So zero-based budget or not, we do. We use $775, and we spent $775 between giving, savings, investing, cash, and paying some bills. So that's how we do that. The giving portion is probably a little over 10%. So $78 divided into $775 multiplied by 100. My calculator is losing some juice, but 10.0 or 10.1%. That's what I'm going to do. Round that up since that makes sense. And then we have our savings. We saved 19 plus 25 plus 53, which is $97 divided into 775 multiplied by 100 gives me 12.5. You can hardly see that. I have a new calculator coming. I want to try something different, so we'll try that one. Although this one probably just needs batteries. I think I just want to refresh. Okay, investing was $39 divided into 775 multiplied by 100 is 5%. You can hardly see it, but that was 5%. Okay, that's it for that. And all I have to do now is make some money moves. So let me start with the tithe. We're going to send $78 over there. Success. Tithe got $78. And this giving bucket has enough spaces where if you're giving to a family friend, if you're giving to a charity, if you're doing anything that's coming from the budget, you can always fill it in here. For now, we're just giving our tithe, except our other giving is done behind the scenes. So then we have savings. Emergency fund is getting 10, so I'm going to Zelle that over. And then also my oldest son is getting $1, so I'm going to actually Zelle $11 right now to take care of those two items. Success. Emergency fund got 10 and my oldest son got $1 for his savings account. Next up is household, which is going to get $6. Success. Household got her $6. And then we have my second son, J2, is going to get $1. Success. He got his $1. J3 is also going to get $1. Success. J3 got $1. And then this was already moved to $39. Transportation is going to get $15 today. Success. $15 for transportation. And then renters is going to get 10. I have an account called annual bills where we're saving up for all of our annual expenses and subscriptions. So this $10 is going to annual bills for renters insurance. Success. $10 sent there. And then cash is already pulled out, so we're done with that. Miscellaneous is going to get $53. Success. Miscellaneous got $53. Last but not least, for this side, these three things, $375 is also being put aside for next month's rent. Success. $375 put aside. And then next month's bills is an account where we're trying to get ahead of all of our bills. Our large goal is to get 3 months ahead of all of our fixed expenses. So we're going to send $50 there today. Success. Next month's bills got $50. And then I'm going to Zelle this $36 to the account where our life insurance number 2 comes from. Success. $36 Zelled over to that account. And that's all of the money moves we had to make today for this paycheck closeout. The last one for October. Oh my gosh. I feel like I was just talking about closing out the first paycheck and then we're already on the last one. So we did send extra money to next month's bills. Praise the Lord. I'm so excited for that. And 12.5% of this income that we used went to savings. That's pretty good. And the little bit that we sent to investing, even though it was a small amount, still got us another share. So yes. I can't wait to do the cash stuffing for Tasha's money and stuff, but since we're still on Mind Your Money, I'm going to go ahead and update my expense tracker. I'm basically going to calculate this and write it in how I did last week, where since I don't have any more space, I'm just going to tally up all of the amount of money moves we made for paycheck number 4 and then write it in here because I don't have enough space to do all of that. We started the week with a $5 cushion, but of course some deposits came in for this week's income. So we had $750 come in on the 20th. So 10/20 was the deposit from our brick and mortar bank, TD Bank. I'm writing that in as a deposit into this account and we're calling it income. And that was $750, which would have brought us to $755. And then we also had another deposit of $25 that came in from Ibotta on the 24th. So 10/24 Ibotta. It's really a transfer, but I'll call it a deposit. So because I'm tracking this as income, and that was $25. And $755 plus 25 equals $780. So that's what the balance was. And then we made one withdrawal in cash, which was $100. So I'm going to put ATM because that's where I went. That's cash. I'll just write cash. And that was $100, which brought us to $680, right? And then we started making moves. So all I'm going to do right here at the bottom is to tally up all of the moves we made, and then I'll write it in and see what our ending balance is, which should be the $5, but I like to double check. So we moved 78 plus 19 plus 39 did move. $25 moved. We know $100 moved. That's already allocated. $53 moved. And $461 moved. So that's a total of $675. So let's see where, yep, that leaves us with $5 because 680 minus 675 is $5. So excited to be almost done with this $1,000 challenge year to save $1,000. So I can just put that money in the bank and we can start working with a bigger, stronger cushion. And this was a transfer, and it happened early on the 26th of October. We finalized our last paycheck budget for the month, and we're ending with $5 in this account. We need a whole lot more, but we will get it because we're almost done with our $1,000 challenge, and most of the money that we used in this paycheck went towards savings. If you were here watching that entire part, we did put some money into miscellaneous that takes care of all of the food costs, grocery shopping, miscellaneous expenses. And then we also are getting a little bit further ahead of bills. We sent $50 there this week. I'm excited about that too. Like, I really am, because I feel like every little bit that we can put in there, it does help. $50 is the cost of like one bill already. So even if we didn't count the other money that's sitting in next month's bills right now, we already have next month's electricity bill set aside. So to me, that says this is working. The budgeting, the zero-based budgeting, the consistently tracking expenses is actually working. All right. What wins did you have with your budget so far for the month of October? Let me know. All right, so if you just came for the paycheck budget closeout, thank you. Don't forget to hit like on the video. But now I'm going to close out my budget for the month of October. So it's time to tally up everything that we've done for the month so we can see exactly where we are. So I'm going to zoom you in. And we're going to start with the rent for November. I know we're $255 short because in paycheck number 2, we didn't have as much money to work with. So we did put $375 in paycheck 1. We put $150 aside in paycheck 2, $375 in paycheck 3, and then just now $375 in paycheck 4. So that's $1,275 that we saved towards November's rent. So what I'll have to do is I'll have to take money from where what this account we have is called Pay Myself. That's where we put money that we can pay our future selves when we need to, PTO and stuff like that. We'll have to take some of the money from there because we still have not gotten back the money that my husband was owed from that second week. So we're still waiting for that. Allstate, there's 2 life insurance policies. We paid $36 plus $32.50, which is $68.50. That's how much we paid. The amount for these did not change. However, I sent a whole number for the last paycheck instead of with the change. So that's why this is a little bit more if you kind of pay attention closely. So Geico and YMCA, these are the amounts that we paid in this month, but this was paid with September's income. So I'm not going to count this when I total up my monthly bills bucket. Okay? Because we did not have to pay these this month. So just so we're clear and we're following along, $1,275 plus $50.99 plus $68.50 plus $84.99 plus 94 plus, that's it. So $1,573.48. That's the total of the monthly bills that we either saved for the next month or we paid in the month. Again, not including Geico and YMCA. So now on to savings. This is the fun part. So emergency fund. In the first week, we saved $11. In the second week, we didn't save anything. So that's $11 for the first half of the month. In the third week, we saved $10 in the emergency fund. And then the last week, we saved $10. So that's another $20. So in total, $31 was saved in this month for emergency fund, which is, was that $9? $9 less than what we planned. Okay, household, we had saved $5 in the first week, $0 in the second week. And then in the third week, we saved $10, and this week we saved $6, so $16. So $21 in total is how much we saved in our household account, which is $1 more than what we planned. That's a nice surprise. Transportation, in the first week we saved 11, second week we saved 10, so that's 21. Then in the third week we saved 9, and this week we saved 15, so plus 9 plus 15, that's $45 saved in transportation. That's low though, but we still save something. That's the cost of 1.5 weeks worth of Metro cards that my husband has to buy, but we already had money in there before we started the month, so there's always a bright line, something to be grateful for. So renter's insurance, we've been saving $10 every week. I don't think that's changed. $10 in the first week, $10 in the second week, $10 in the third week, and $10 in the fourth week. So $40 still saved for renter's insurance, which is on target. Our Fidelity, or my Fidelity actually, because it is actually just my individual retirement account, $36 in the first week, plus $20 in the second week, plus $40 in the third week. You might not be able to see it, but it's $40 in the third week, and then we just sent $39 for the last week of the month. So 39, that's $135 in total that was invested this month. $5 less than what we planned. And then next month's bills was to get $35. We sent 51 cents in the first week. So I'll show you. See that? NMB is next month's bills. We sent 51 cents in the first week. And then in the second week, we sent nothing. And then in the third week, we sent nothing. But also in the fourth week, we sent $50. So we sent $50.51 to next month's bills. That's more than what we planned. Again, I'm thankful for that because every dime makes a difference. So our savings, and let me make sure I didn't save. I saved for my boys. So I'm just going to group them into one because that wasn't planned for this week. So I'll put J1 to J3. And this is their savings. And we saved $6 in the third week. So that's $2 for each of them. And then $1 for each of them in the third week. So that's $9. So $9 in total saved for them for the month of October. And I'm just checking to make sure I didn't miss any other savings, any other opportunities to save. I don't think I did. That was it. So our total savings for the month of October was 31 plus 21 plus 45 plus 40 plus 135 plus 50, 51 plus $9, $331 and 51 cents. That's $16 more than what we planned. I'm happy with that. Anytime is a little more is a good thing. Okay, for miscellaneous, the tithe fluctuated each week because again, I round up to the whole number when I can. So 73 in the first week, 40 in the second week, that was a low income week, 79 for the third week, and 78 in the last week. So a total of $270 is what we gave in our tithe for the month, and that's $10 less than what we planned. And then cash expenses. The first week I pulled out $60 in cash. The second week I pulled out $50 in cash. The third week I pulled out $100. And then I think $100 in the fourth week too. Yeah, $100 again. So that's $310 in cash for the month. And that's exactly what we planned. We didn't change there at all. Miscellaneous was to get $97 in the month. In the first week, we saved $26 there. And then we also did 26 the second week. We did 100 the third week and 53 in the fourth week. So that's $205 in total that we sent to miscellaneous. And I'm checking. I don't think there was anything else done outside of that. Good. So 205 plus 310 plus 270 equals 785. So $785 in total for miscellaneous. So now we're just going to calculate the income. We saved the best part for last. How much did we actually work with? So the actual in week 1 was 725. The actual in week 2 was 400. The actual in week 3 was 7. Oops. Let me make sure I didn't mess that up, because I don't know, 725 plus 400 plus 790 in the third week, and we had 775 in the fourth week. So that's $2,690. Ooh, that's less than what we budgeted. And we saved more in some areas. Well, look at that. Well, look at that. So $2,690, and baby girl is moving from side to side in my belly. So $2,690, which is below what we planned. So $110 less altogether. So even with it a little bit extra that I padded our income with because of that second week, we were only $110 under our planned income. And we're going to take that $2,690 and start subtracting the total of our buckets. So monthly bills was $1,573.48. Monthly savings was $331.51. And a cent. Look at that. $7.85 for miscellaneous. That means we have a cent left over. What? 1 cent. A positive 1 cent. Who am I right now? Okay, so the actual income, just to break this down again, $2,690. Actual bills, $1,573 with 48 cents. Savings, $331.51. And miscellaneous was $785. That was even more because we put more towards miscellaneous in the month of October. So let's do percentages for income, for bills. Should be bills, $1,573.48 divided into $2,690 multiplied by 100 is, I think that's a 5. That's 58%, 58.4%. And then for savings, that was $331.51 divided into $2,690 multiplied by 100 is 12.3% savings. And then $785 divided into $2,690 multiplied by 100 gives us 23% of the income was split between 23.2% was split between our giving and our cash and miscellaneous. We did get ahead of bills, but I included that under savings because that is a savings. We may or may not have to dip into the next month's bills again for the rent. I think we're just going to take from pay myself to cover November's rent when it comes. So I hope that was clear. I hope you guys could see everything. I like to zoom in, so in case you like to really look up close and follow with me, hopefully it helps. Let me know if it's better this way or if it's better seeing up close. Let me know. So that is how we ended the month with our budget. We were $110 less on income. We were less on bills because I did not save as much towards November's rent. Again, we have a plan of action to take care of that. And good news is, good thing for me, Geico and YMCA that were due this month, we paid that with September's money. So that was nice. We save a little bit for our 3 boys, so that was nice. We got to put a little bit more aside for miscellaneous because we needed to anyway, because credit card expenses were getting a little bit high, but that's how we did. So I'm happy with that. If you did not see my last expense tracking video for the credit card, this is where we ended the month. The last charge was $9.99 for like some breast pump supplies for me, and that was it. And we stuck to one expense tracker for each account, the operating account and the credit card account. So I'm happy about that. The last thing I want to do with you guys on camera is track my short-term savings, and since I'm closing out the budget, I'm going to include that in this video. So one of the things I did this month was cancel Hulu, because I only signed up for Hulu just so I could see the other black girl. And then I started to get bored with it after like 6 videos. And yeah. And I needed to save some money because that $7.99 was like, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'll catch it on TikTok because most people, creators on TikTok now, they start posting snippets of the show. And if I get the highlights, I'll take the highlights. That's fine. All right, so let's start with vehicle insurance. Vehicle insurance started the month with $8.20, and I don't think we changed anything because I did not add to vehicle insurance. So the ending balance is still as it started, $8.20. Back to school started with $18.40. And we didn't add or subtract anything, so it's ending with $18.40. Vacation started with $147, and I did use some money from vacation because right now we have $28.45. So I'll take the $147 minus $28.45. We took $118.55 from there. So I'll write that here in the subtracted, and we're ending with $28.45 in our vacation fund. The goal is $2,000. The next vacation is going to be at the end of 2024. 40th birthday, we started with $80, and I don't think I added anything yet, so it's still at $80, but I do have some more money that I want to put in there for my 40th birthday coming up in November. Amazon, we don't have anything changing in Amazon because I haven't put anything in there. So I think we still have 29 cents there. Yep, 29 cents in Amazon. This account is with Capital One 360. I'm still debating whether or not I should close it or rename it something else. Maybe I'll make it Baby Girl. No, I can't make it Baby Girl's account. I want to open up an account just for her and we just be the custodian. So I don't know what I'll do with this yet. I really don't. Wellness started with $8.88 and it's ending with $8.88 because we really did not add anything to this in the month of October, but that will change in November. Christmas started with $119.95 and it's ending with $119.95. As of the day I'm recording this, October is not officially over yet, so we will get interest applied to all of these accounts. It's just not added in yet because it hasn't happened yet, but I'll add the interest in when I set up for November. 2128 is transportation, and we're ending with $23.59. So basically, I'll just subtract the beginning from the ending balance because we've been putting money in here every single week, and then we've been taking money out, and then we've been putting money in. So 2128 minus 23.59 gives us a difference of $2.31. So I'll just put subtracted here, $2.31. And then clothing was $26.61. And we didn't add anything to that either. That again will change in the month of November. So there's no change with that. Next month's bill started the month of October with $103.29 and now has $153.80. So I'll write that in and then just do the math to see what's different. $103.29 minus $153.80. I think I did something wrong though. Yeah, we added $50.51, which should be here. And I think I did this wrong because we have more money than when we started in transportation. So that $231 is not a negative, but a plus. So I'll write that in here. Okay, and then going back to annual bills, I don't think, okay, we have $45.37 in annual bills right now. So that's $40 added for the month of October. And then for pay myself, we started with $5.98. I don't know why I couldn't talk just now. $5.98.30. We're ending with $5.98.30 because the interest hasn't hit yet. So this is the account I was saying earlier. We're probably going to take the money from here that we're short for November's rent so we can make that up. I don't want to do it. It hurts to actually do it. But as soon as the income that my husband was missing from week 2 of October comes back, I'm going to replace this money because I want to see this one grow without us having to touch it right away. So let's add up everything to see where we ended. 820 plus 1840 plus 2845 plus 80 plus 29 plus 888 plus 119.95 plus 23.59 plus 26.61 plus 153.80 plus 45.37 plus 5.98.30. 11.84. Okay, and we started with 11.37, so that's not too bad for some of these revolving. 11.37.57 minus 11.11.84 is a difference of $25.73. Yeah, so that's where we ended the month. I know I need to continue adding to our renter's insurance and annual bills because this is pretty low, but again, we're gonna kick that up in November. Hopefully the next video you guys will see from me, if you stay tuned, it's going to be my November budget reset, the whole setup, goals, everything. So that is it for October. Our short-term savings still has $1,100 all included, and I'm thankful that we'll just be able to add the interest in a few days when October officially closes, because I feel like it's best to highlight your wins. You see where you messed up. When you close out your budget, when you go through every category, you just look at it and say, okay, I did say I needed to put this amount of money aside for my rent or my mortgage. Did I do it? I did say I wanted to get ahead of bills and put this much money aside. Did I do it? And you just look at the numbers, and then you can see where you could have done better or where you did really good, and celebrate those wins. Highlight, the wins to yourself, because you don't want to get so depressed about not having enough money one week or a part of the month that you forget that you actually did make progress in certain areas. And I believe we made progress in some areas. We got further ahead of bills by putting money aside into our next month's bills account this month. So that is a highlight that I would like to say, yes, I'm glad we did that. I think we were pretty successful with the low spend. I would give myself maybe a B minus, just to be nice to myself. I think we did okay. We stuck to the one expense tracker, and that was done. And we consistently invested 5% of our income. We consistently saved at least 5% of our income. We tithe continually, and we did start putting money, we did start putting money into our child savings accounts, and $1 each or whatever, until we can do more, until we can budget for more. That's how it's going to be. And soon we're going to be contributing through our budget 1% into each child's 529. It might not be November, it might be December, it might even be January, but that is a goal. And I'm glad that I wrote out some things that I wanted to focus on, because it helped each week to track how we're doing when it comes to our money. So remember, with every income comes an opportunity to build a strong financial future. Don't think because your income is lower than someone else's that you can't be the one who is saving, getting ahead of bills, getting rid of debt, investing for your future. You can still do it. Every income, there is an opportunity to build a strong financial future. You just have to make the right choices. And sometimes make some sacrifices. I saw Mommy Trader post, I think it was a video where she was sharing her portfolio somewhere, and she asked this question at the end of the video: what ways are you saving money? In a sense, that's me putting it in plain terms. But one of the ways I save money is I paint my nails myself. They're not painted now, but I paint them myself, and I style my own hair. I deep condition, I detangle, I wash, I do all the things myself at home to save money. I know it's nice to go out and get treated and do all the self-care stuff, but sometimes you got to give something to get something better, and it's short term, because I know for my birthday I'm definitely going to get my hair done. That is my thing. I have to do that, especially because baby's coming. I want to get braids so I don't have to worry about, dealing with my hair for the first couple of months while she's here. But there are things we can do to make our budget work and start hitting those goals that we've been writing down and reciting to ourselves. We just have to put in the work, and it'll all be fine. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It's about 43 minutes in. I hope I was able to cut it down for you and make it something that you enjoyed. Hopefully you were able to do your budget with me or close out your budget with me. Take some notes, and let's continue to not worry about tomorrow, okay? And mind your money, manage it well, and live your lives abundantly. Bye for now. Love y'all.